We'll be looking at whatever has been happening in these transfer windows, especially now that the league is almost resuming, both the English Premier League, the Sport Pesa Premier League, and everything that took part, especially this weekend when it comes to friendlies. The Community Shield final that took place yesterday, whereby we saw a little bit of what we expect from Arsenal. And I'm not happy about it, of course, but that is a story for another time. So in the meantime, keep it at the scoreboard to make sure that we give you all the best regarding the grassroots football and every other sporting activity that you're going to tackle today. My name is Michael Dipo, as I said earlier. This is the scoreboard, and also don't fail to follow us on our social media platforms, and also like I said earlier, make sure you comment down on the topics, on the various topics that we will be tackling today. And of course, today I'm not short of amazing guests like I always do. So today we have amazing guests. Like I told you, here at Scoreboard, first of all, we focus on the grassroots football, where the real talents emerge from, where we create or we manufacture the real talents that we see on our screens. But before we see them on the screens playing, first of all, they come from somewhere. And that is the place that we go down and source them to make sure that these talents are exposed to you, our fans, so that we can support these people and make sure that they achieve their potential and their dreams in this world of football. In the meantime, I have an amazing group of people, and I hope my director will be showing them, first of all, before they introduce themselves. Amazing group of people. And the one thing that makes me happy is the ladies being part of football. That is one thing that I support so much. And if you've followed Scoreboard for some time, you know how much you emphasize on the women football. And it's one of the sporting disciplines that is growing world over. If you look at the statistics, and if you look at Kenya now, an eye on Kenya, Kenya, the only team that has qualified for the World Cup comes from the women football. The only team. And right now, our is it under 17? I think I'm not wrong. The under 17 has qualified for the World Cup for the second time, actually. And our senior team is just from AFCON. As much as maybe the performance was not satisfying, but at least they got there. So it's an amazing sports, just an amazing sight to see the women football growing, not only in Kenya, but world over. So with me here, I have an amazing group of people. They're going to introduce themselves, and we're going to start from the far end, whereby we have the coach. Utatuambia jina yako kwanza. And okay, Shasama when you coach already. But still tell us the role you play in the team, and it will be nice.
Okay, nice. So, kwa majina naitwa Owen, Coach Owen, Rivian Ouma, mimi ndo coach wa team.
Thank you so much. Immediate?
My name is Shea. I'm a player.
My player?
Yeah.
Amazing. You look like it kabisa. Unakaa tu play kupa bola pasa unapenda mbaya sana. Yes, now on my immediate right.
My name is Almasi Hassan. I am a player, and I'm a captain team in Ballers of God.
Thank you so much. Well, welcome and welcome again. Let's start from the coach first of all, because I think maybe there are administrative parts of the team maybe tuambie sana. First of all, before tuambie, what is the name of the team kwanza, and where is it situated?
Okay, team inaitwa Ballers of God. Tuna train pale Isili. Pondo place tunapatikana. Yeah.
Quite an interesting name, Ballers of God. And if from the name itself you understand where they come from. But first of all, to answer, how did you come up with that name, Ballers of God? You know, the first time you were introduced to you, and I was like, wow, this is amazing, because it's not every day you see football being associated with religion. So tell us, how did the name come by, Ballers of God?
Okay, jina Ballers of God ilitokea hivi. Nilikuwa kwa church mimi, and then kulikuwa na tona fulani ilitokea. Then ikakuwa so mimi nilikuwa part kwa hiyo church. So ikakuwa pasi wa hiyo church akaniambia kuna event fulani ya church. Kuna tona fulani nafanya tucheze. Activity tu kwa church. So tukaniambia madem tu area kuna activity fulani tukatoka tucheze hiyo game. Sisi tukatoka tukaenda tukacheza. Then from hapo tukaenda tukacheza na tukakuwa kitu number 2.
Wow.
Then from there ikakuwa nikamepasi hii kitu sasa nafaa tutengeneze tu team. So ikakuwa jina ikatokea Ballers of God. Built under God.
Thank you so much. And I'm kwamba something is happening with your mic. Is it the mic? We can do an exchange. Hebu msaidie na hiyo kwanza tuone. Okay, we're going to take a very short break. Kidogo aitwanga aje. Start kitu hapa kidogo, we'll come back. Kidogo tu shortly. sports isn't just a game. It's passion.
He's done it. Jakub Mensik is the champion in Miami.
Drama.
Man, oh, come on now.
In the thrill of the unexpected. From the stadiums to the streets, we bring the game to you.
We bring you exclusive insights from the pros, bold predictions, and in-depth analysis like never seen before.
Get ready for the action, the controversy,
And this is bubbled over. Montez shown red.
and the moments that define greatness. The Scoreboard, where every game is the biggest game.
Yes, welcome back with sorry for that technical hitch, but you're back officially. Coach was telling us about the origin of the name of the team. Sasa tuambie sasa wapi kusikia poa sasa.
Oh, okay. So jina Bolas of God ilitokea hivi. Kulikuwa na mimi ni msanii nimegolo kwa church naweza sema hivyo. Kulikuwa na function fulani ya church. Then nilikuwa tuona. Nikaingia tu mtaani nikaambia madem tuende tujitokeze tuende tucheze hiyo game. Then after kucheza hiyo game tukatokea tukakuwa number 2. Then from hapo ikasema nikaambia pasi naona tu create team. Nikaona tu create team na hivyo ndio tu kwenye jina Bolas of God ilitokea. Yeah.
Quite an intriguing name, quite an intriguing, and I love it so much. Unajua kwanza especially for students tumokoka, if you listen to that name, you just want to be part of it. So I'm looking at that particular name, Bolas of God. Is ukiangalia like from a religion point is associated with Christianity. So what are the scope of players that do you scope players from every walk of life, or you are based on a particular religion?
No. Sida welcome wachezaji wote, Christians na Muslims. Wote. Provided ni mchezaji ni mdem, ku free to come ku join.
Na ileti conflict kabisa from.
I
Very nice. Twende sasa kwa kwanza tukuje kwa kapisa sasa. Mambo captain.
Poa.
Umesema jina lako nimesahau, hebu tukumbushe tena jina lako kwanza.
My name is Almasi Hassan.
Karibu sana Almasi.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here. Tuanze wewe kama captain wa team sasa. So far ulijoin team, when did you join the team officially and how did you join the team?
Nilikuwa natembea nikasema acha niende game na mabeshte zangu. Tulikuwa tunatembea tukaona nesi washana wanacheza ball. Tukasema acha tu join tu. Tukaenda tukaongelesha coach akatoa agree akisema chini mkuje mcheze. Tukacheza tukajoin.
Very nice. And did you like before you join team Bolas of God, are you playing football in another team ama ndio mko mnaanza tu from scratch?
No. Nilikuwa nacheza since class 4 mpaka sasa.
Oh, amazing. So like uliacha team nyingine ukajoin hapo officially?
Sikuwa nachezea team, nilikuwa nacheza tu na mabeshte tu, friendly.
Okay. Very nice. Tuende kwa katikati player wetu pale. When did you join the team and how did you join the team?
Like I joined my team, it was I think 2 months before.
Oh, 2 months.
Yeah. Then coach ndo alinitanga venye amesema like the game yenye tuliendanga kucheza ilikuanga chachami, so akatuitanga some girls tukaenda kucheza hiyo game and we became number 2. So akatuambia to join hiyo team, si tukajoin. That's how we started this team.
And then maybe a question that had nilikuwa nimeskip kidogo kwa coaches. Team ilianza, when did the team start?
The team is 3 months old maybe.
Oh, 3 months old. Yeah. Oh, because you are still very young.
Very
amazing. Now, I'm trying to look at the process. Umesema like there was a tournament, then you gathered some girls and kuambia let us play. Na mkamaliza number 2. Yeah. Like basically it was ndio mko mnaanza. How long did between the tournament and the first time of calling the players? Mlikuwa how long did you have for training ndio kuna ujua ma players? Because unajua sometimes as a coach kazi yako ni ku find rhythm kwa team, kupata they played, because unajua football is a team game. Unaweza kuna player mnoma hapa lakini hakujua shindo kucheza because maybe kuna ile aspect mtu anataka kushine peke yake kujionyesha. So as a coach kazi yako ni ku create a team. So how long did you have kukuwa na training ndio mwende on the first game, and how was it?
Mimi tunasema hatukutrain, we never train for the first tournament. When tukaenda Chachami hatukutrain.
Yo, mlikenda tu mkaenda.
Na vitu tu zika click tu yani. Na tukacheza na kwa number 2. We never trained. Yeah, sure.
That shows the amount of talent you have. That is amazing. And so like, what criteria were you using in selecting of these players? Because unajua ukianza team, like when the team is in its don't ta kuanza, like basically anybody can come in useme wewe ingiacha nione kwanza, na mnasema hamko na time ya kutrain. So basically unasemaje, you didn't have the time to assess each player's individual strength. Sindio?
Yeah.
So how did you come up with maybe ino team itaanza, when ta accept wazo utaka nje, maybe na feel kwamba utangoja? How did you come up with that as a coach?
Okay, kitu funny ni this guest kama walikuwa wanajijua. Kama walikuwa wanajijua, lakini pia mimi nilisema now that mimi siwajui, sitapanga mtu atijuu unajua kucheza mmoja kucheza. Hiyo tournament haikuwa timu mimi win. Mimi nilikuwa nimetoa hapo nicheze. Chache imeparticipate, unaona. So mimi kwa tu ile unacheza namba ngapi wewe ingia ucheze. Unacheza namba ngapi ingia ucheze. Then from the first game nikaona venye watu wanacheza na wanafanya masubs nini. So from the first game nikajua wanacheza namba fulani, mwingine anacheza namba fulani. So hizo games zingine niko nishajua players wangu kwa karibu wote. Yeah.
Very nice. And coaches look like and I'm trying to figure out because sijajaribu actually, but nishajaribu coach team. Nilikuwa player. Nilizeeka. Okay. Sikuzeeka, niliingia shule. So nishajaribu coach because I was once a captain. So like kukuwa na team, like creating a team, what does it take to create a team, especially right now at your level whereby ulikuwa church and there's a tournament? Had you coached previously ama ilikuwa your first time coaching?
Okay, coach nimecoach watoi, nimekuwa mchezaji, bado mimi ni mchezaji, nimechezea Gor Youth.
Wow.
Nimechezea Gor Youth. So nimekuwa mchezaji, sawa? So unazoona tu msee anaandaa tu ball yako, unajua tu ni mchezaji, unaona. So sidhani kama ni kitu big deal. But kitu ya maana ni discipline tu. Bora tu mchezaji akona discipline. Mimi na accommodate. Si lazima ujue kucheza ball. Hiyo ndio kazi yangu.
Nice.
Weka ndio utajulia mbele.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Amazing. Ndio kwa player tu hapa hivi, like so far umesema tuseme approximately umesema ni katika 3 months 2 months, right?
Yeah.
How are you finding the team? Una feel like team imekuchange? How has it changed you as a player and as a person?
Change sana cause ukikaa home unajua nakanga idle sometimes.
Yeah.
So coach anatuambianga come train, work hard ndio upelekwe far. Sana unajua ukikaa kwa nyumba unapata hata hakuna kitu ya kufanya. So nasema tu like some ladies unaona wengine wanapata pregnancy, wengine drugs. Sana ladies sahi ndo wameingia into drugs. So beda nilianzanga kucheza ball since nikiwa class 1.
Wow.
Nilikuwa nachezanga ball shule. Na ile kucheza mpaka headmaster anakupea pesa. Najua hiyo time ukiwa mtu yuko najua pesa ni nini. Unapewa 200 unani pesa kubwa. Sasa nikaanza kucheza ina process. Nikacheza pia team fulani hapa inaitwa Lu. Nikaingia hii bonus of God. Then nikaenda and kuna trials fulani hapo nilikuwa nafaa niende inaitwa Githogo Starlets I think coach. Githogo Starlets. Ndio kwa trials. Coach ndo nini. Alisema anatafuta process niingie huko. Na imechange sana.
Amazing. Then kwa captain, the same question to you. So far in those 2 months, do you feel like umekuwa na change in your life, like in a positive or in whatever way, since the time you joined mpaka sai? Like how have you grown as a player and as a person?
I grown since day one. Nika feel niko free. Coach ni mzuri na anakuelezea kitu vizuri na anakuambia like improve, come utrain na ucheze vizuri. Na akaendelea hivyo tukafika mpaka sasa nime improve my skills. Thank you coach.
Amazing. At least amekutaka. Unajua you don't get thank you sometimes live on air kila siku. That was amazing. And bado tuko players nyinyi kwanza before coach tuingie. As a player uko na individual goals as a player. Of course kuna team goals, like kuna team inataka kufika, but as a player you have individual goals. Unasema mimi sichezi ball tu kwa sababu because one thing I know ni kwamba in the world of football kuna ile growth fulani. Itafika time maybe kuna team itakuona venye amesema kuna trials anaangalia kwenda, unaona?
Team ni gani tuanze hapa na captain kwanza. Kwanza dream ile ambition gani uko nayo kwa team
Na pia yako personal pia ni gani?
Ambition yangu ya dream ni kuwa a footballer.
Like where do you want yourself to be useme at least nimefika mahali nataka kukua, like in what team, in what league, which book? First of all, una support team gani kwanza tuanze? Support a team in Kenya like in the SportPesa Premier League. Bado you need to tafuta mtu mmoja za yes, exactly. Harambee Stars, of course, talent lazima, but kuna timu mingi kwa itonga women SportPesa Premier League ya women, wakina Police FC, kuna Sloppers yetu, mimi fan Sloppers by the way. Kuna ya Gor Mahia, kuna so at least Gor Mahia Queens, exactly. So tafuta at least ta support timu. Unajua tunasemaje, tunataka female football grow because unajua ladder ni kwamba na uko kwa team but kesho hebu juu kuna timu itakuita maybe, exactly. So support moja ndio itakuwa poa, sawa. Like okay, now out of Kenya majuna support team gani? Man City. Of course. Of course, unajua. Usijali, sio utaenda kwa team serious. Utaenda kwa next play. Like okay, so what are your personal ambitions as a player? Na pia like collectively as a team, what do you think, what is the ambition of the team from you as a player, from your vision as a player?
Ambition yetu na kwenda far by that. Cause tumeishi kwenda far na coach amesema like this week tunaenda tournament in Machakos. Wow. So tunataka to gain more na najua sometimes tunataka to sponsor wenye watakuwa kitu sponsor in football. Najua ladies sometimes tumeuma. True. So that's why tunataka our team grow more na ijulikane. Najua bado tujajulikana lakini naona tukijulikana.
What did you say to us umejulikana?
Tujajulikana. Na
like
my goals ni kufika far na to help some other girls hata au wenye wako nje tu I'm sure aje kujeni mjoin futa. Yeah, that's my goal. Na ingine ni kwanza dream yangu kabisa. My mom encourage sana ni join futa. So hata ananiambianga mtoto wangu fanya hivi. Kuliko unaingia kwa group mbaya, enda tu cheze ball. Utoke huko nje. Hii world ni mbaya. Watoto wengi wameharibika. So nikasema my goal sana kabisa ni kutrain na kuwork hard. Yeah.
And of course okay, twende kwa coaches kwanza. But before the coaches pia nataka take a very short break. We'll be back in a minute.
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
Sports isn't just a game. It's passion.
He's done it. Jakub Mensik is the champion in Miami.
Drama.
Man, oh, come on now.
In the thrill of the unexpected.
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
Yes, welcome back. And at least you've heard from the visions of the players individually. So nataka tusikie from the coach because I think as the bearer of the vision, and this was tuambia what is your vision, what is your mission and everything about the team. Tuanze na coach. This dream that now you're living it. what is the vision of what is the ambition to this team sasa venye uko nayo sasa hivi? Where do you want to see yourself in future?
Okay, mimi kitu ya kwanza tu ni nataka tu give back kwa society. Unaona? Nataka ni give back kwanza kwa society. Hata mimi nilifanywa hii kitu for free. So vision niko nayo kwa team. Nataka maybe siku moja hii team icheze professionally. Tufike tucheze hata kama ni NSL ama Premier, SportPesa League. Ama maybe siku tu moja nione mchezaji wangu tu ama mmoja ama wawili wameenda at least wanacheza top tier.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, sure. Amazing. Now this question sasa nataka kila mtu everybody will answer this one. Why football? Why not mbona kuchoose mbio? Mbona kuchoose boxing? Kuna different disciplines ya sports, right? So why specifically football? Tuanze kwa coaches kikuja hivi.
Football.
Why football?
Unamkanga tu unajipata. Kuna mtu mnyalizaliwa tio nini. Kuna tu ile kupenda tu kutoka kwa ndani tu yani. Mimi niliamkanga tu nikapata tu mimi napenda tu futa. Yeah.
Flavor, why mbona si boxing, mbona si mbio, unatanga mbio kwa riadha, mbona si riadha, why not in other sports discipline?
Cause football mimi sinajua mtu unazaliwa na talent yako. Sasa mimi nilizaliwa na talent yangu na nikapewa football, but hata kukimbia naweza. Yeah.
Unaona?
Na sikubarikiwa na boxing kabisa. Maybe kupigana huko nje hiyo pekee. Hiyo hapana.
Okay. Captain, why mbona you choose football and not any other sport?
I choose football because I love it and I am passionate about it. Amazing. Now,
before tuelekee kuna alisema support Manchester City. Coaches, niambie what team do you support in the Kenya in the SportPesa Premier League kwanza tuanze na yeye.
Gor Mahia.
Of course, I don't support umechezea hiyo team. Definitely.
Yeah, mimi na support Gor Mahia.
Yeah. Na internationally
Manchester United.
Exactly. Then what team do you support locally na gani internationally?
Mimi yangu tuseme tu FC. Ukweli FC.
Exactly.
Na international zile za nje na support Man U.
At least we support the same thing. Hata mimi pia ni fan wa FC Manchester United, the great and glorious Manchester United, of course. Thank you so much. Now, coaches, now you have a group of people sasa because these ladies come from different. How do you source from the first time you source our players like randomly, but from there so create a team, right?
Yeah.
So from then, how do you source now these talents? Like mtu anakuja na kuambia, do you get them unaenda kutafuta wenyewe ama wanakuja wenyewe?
Okay, kitambo nilikuwa natafuta. But kwa sasa wanajileta tu wenyewe. Yeah, tuko over 30 I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, tuko over 30. Hata sasa tuko tuna train on level mpaka. Yeah, tuko tuna train. So I think tuko over 30. So sasa wanajileta sasa but kitambo nilianza na wao 4 nini. Unaona after hiyo tona si mimi after tumecheza hiyo tona ikakomeisha. Then ndo nikakuja nikakaa na pasi chini nikamwambia to create team hapa. So au madem nilicheza nao tona ilikuwa kina Sheila hapa. Au walienda wakarudi to their respective teams. Kumbe walikuwa na team, unaona? So mimi pia nikasemanga acha sasa mimi ni create team, unaona? Then nikaenda tu hapo area kuna wenyewe walikuwa wanataka kucheza nini nikaanza na watatu. Kwanza na watatu nikaingia pale ICL, grao inalipwa by the way. Grao pia inalipwa power. So unapata power ni 1k. So training kwa tough but leo tuko na training hapa tu down. Ndio ya vumbi. So nikaanza na player watatu. Then ukapata kina Almasi pia wakakam. Justani huko ni area huko ICL sasa tunajua ni hiyo Muslims sana.
Yeah.
So ikapata watu wanaanza kukam nikamwambia now that nataka kujoin, amta join tu hivyo. Lazima tuambie mzazi unataka kujoin.
Yeah.
Like kuna unataka kukam kucheza ball. Junge ukisema ati unataka mtu kujoin, maybe mtu anaweza kama anataka kujoin lakini mzazi anataka acheze ball. Unaona? So unapata na kwa tricky. So mimi nilisema kama unataka kujoin ku free but lazima uambie mzazi unataka kucheza ball. Ndio utanipea namba ya mzazi. Tuta create group mimi mwenyewe na nikaada wazazi ikakuwa wazazi pia kwa willing wacheze ball kuliko watu wakae home. Yeah.
Good. And I was coming to that question, at least you may answer. But another question pia ni, do you have like a distinct age group like different kama under 10 and do you have a certain age group? What age group are you recruiting?
Tulezanga na under 15 to 18 but sasa vitu zimechange. Hata nilianza na madem tu peke yake but kitu fani sasa hadi niko na machali.
Wow.
From under 9 Yeah, to 18. From under 9 to 18. From ukifika 18 maybe ukiwa uko best na kutafutia at least usonge. Yeah, but side niko na hadi machali pia. Yeah.
So basically like you're a football academy literally.
Yeah.
That is amazing and it's nice because unajua from this grassroots ama football academy is where you get these talents and tunajua pale nje wakina atukiongelea wakina Roko wakina ni wengi na wajua wengi, so basically wakina madada they come from somewhere, unaona. So twende bado kwa coaches kwanza, because I think on the administrative side you are more favorable to answer these things. So let us come now to funding. Now before tuingie kwa funding, what is the structure that you put in place kuhakikisha kwamba the team is running? Because unajua for a team to run kuna ile office na kuna sawa wale place na kwa pitch. Kuna wale ambao wana plan everything from funding, from how to get tournaments, from how to source players, from how to advertise, kuna vitu social media squeezy. So do you have another team behind you that helps you to run in running of this team apart from the church, like the team that is focusing on the footballing side of everything?
Oh yeah, so niko na marafiki wenye wananisaidia. I think I have friends wenye wananisaidia pia kidogo, but pia wazazi. Yeah, wazazi pia wanasaidia sana. Niseme kama tuko na function kama hiyo ya kwenda Machakos, wanajitolea wanatoa kama ni to fair, do registration, tuna register. Hizo utaona wezi inatoka kucheza tivo bure. Unapata saa zingine pia unaingia kwa mfuko kama kochare. But hopefully siku tu moja tu tuna wish. Tunaomba siku tu moja tu tutakam kwa fiti, mchezaji akae fiti. But kwa funding ni sisi tu wenyewe, kuna mwenye anatusaidia, maybe friends. Yeah.
So do you have a distinctive like your own jersey, like everything, like kama vitu kama jerseys? Do you have like your own jerseys, your all every training gear and everything? Ama bado you are looking into that?
No, we only have one jersey. It's for training, games, na bibs. Yeah, we only have one. Jersey are white and black, and then bibs are green. Yeah.
So like if somebody is out there watching us right now and would want to assist in whatever way, how do they reach you?
Maybe kwa number.
Yeah, can you give out a number? Give after utanipatia pia mtu akiniuliza huko mbele nitampatia, so I'll have your number. But maybe waambie tu kuna wale wanataka kutumana 10 bob. Waambie. Yes, tunataka pole pole. Wanataka kutuma 10 bob, 20, 30, 50, like whoever is watching, how do they reach you for any assistance?
Okay, kama uko hapo nje jamaa unaweza taka kutusaidia. Namba ni 0741 500 913.
Rudia tena.
Namba ni 0741 500 913. Yeah, tusaidia tutashukuru.
Exactly. As you've heard, of course, it's a team that is emerging 2 months away and already they have an under 9, from under 9 paka under 18 umesema, si ndio? Like okay, if you look at the progress from the first tournament where they finished second, a team that had not trained before, you can see the potential in this team and the ladies, and now people wanasema kwamba they are bright even for the male side. So but as an advocate, as a big advocate of the women football, I think that it is high time that we come together and make sure that these people, our ladies here participate in this particular, or their talents are managed in a good way. And such academies are the places that where we can send our children. Unajua kama sasa, for example, right now watoto walifunga shule and you have a kid outside, but mtu yake idul pale nyumbani. Such place unawapeleka, not only does it keep them busy, pia it nurtures a talent. Na siku unajua football pays bana. Football pays so well. So it can be like a pastime, but in the long run inakuwa the source of employment. So as a parent outside there, as a well-wisher outside there, please, these are the things you can support to make sure that we change a society. Because ukisikia from what they have said from one of the players Alsemaji, the football it may prevent from many things like vitu kama drugs and bad companies and all that. So you see, this is something positive in the society. So we need your support. They need your support. Okay, see, they do need your support. So if you're looking to support any of them and you have my number, you can reach out to us. We'll give you their number. Sisi tuko hapo. Mimi tu connect. Mimi usinipatie pesa, unamtumia straight kwao. So we can connect and and just see where we can assist them to make sure that at least these ladies get somewhere, and also the guys. Yes, sasa kuna boys team. The ladies and the gentlemen gets a good place to be able to nurture their talent. Msikipia wasema pia they are praying for their training ground. 1,000 per hour.
Yeah, 1,000
so like
per hour.
It's very expensive to run a football team. So if you're out there, you're a lover of football, you're a fan of football, and you want to assist, please reach out to us. Na pia amepeana namba, kama umeshika namba pia, kama unataka turudie pia tutarudia pia, reach out to us, tutawaconnect na wao, then muweze kuwasaidia mahali mnaweza pale, because that is what we do. That is what we do as Scoreboard. We bring out those talents that is zimefichwa pale juu, we give them a limelight, na pia tuone how we can help them in the long run. So as we finish up, because time imekimbia sana, and I feel like time imekuwa short sana, I think we will invite you again kuja hapa next time pia. After some time tutakuinvite na to exhaust most of the questions that I have today, because nafikiri kama time is not on our side. But in the meantime, as a team tunajua kwamba you are church based right now, na I believe most of the decisions come from the church pale hivyo. But do you see yourself like do you see yourself still hanging on the church, ama kuna itafika time useme sasa tuna feel to independent, tunaweza fanya like now run professionally as a team like differently?
Hapana, sidhani kama inaweza fika hiyo point. Kitu press tumeanzia kama ilianza kwa church ni kwa church. Sidhani kama itafika point to change tuko, hapana, sidhani.
And not because you're a church based organization ama team. Do you do some extra activities kama ile ku speak into these ladies about life, word kind of word? Of course I understand, because mko different religions, could we have Muslims, maybe mko na Christians pale, hata maybe kuna pagans, unaona wanaenda church. Sini world, si ndio? It's a free world, man. Kuna freedom of religion ya ku socialize with different religion. So how do you make sure that despite the fact that kuna different religions, people are focused on the goal of the team, see goals of whatever they are. Najua, because najua the moment you are in a team, everything goes away. Mna focus on the ambitions of the team and the individual. So how do you make sure that our players, whatever, coming from different backgrounds, different religions, this is a church-based organization. So how do you make sure that high affect when you maybe see Christians?
Okay. Ikitu before you join, ulikuwa naambiwa from the word go. Watu wakikuja na kuuliza jina ya team, utaambiwa ni Ballers of God.
Yeah.
So kama wewe ni Muslim, wewe jua tu ni kitu kwa under church. So kama una feel unaweza join ni sawa. Kama huwezi join pia utaweza kuforce. But hakuna tio point itafika tio tunatenganisha wa Kristo na Waislamu kandozi. Hapana.
Amazing. And it's such a good thing. Unajua, it's not every day you come across at a football team from the church, like I said earlier. So it's a good thing. Ningekuwa player bado, sasa nimerust. Maybe ningejoin. Sasa nimerust mbaya. The last time we played football ilikuwa like 3 years ago, man. 3 years ago, kitambo sana. So sasa nimerust mbaya sana. And maybe a day, maybe tutapata time tutakuja, maybe if you allow us, we'll do a documentary about everything you're doing to help maybe to push outside there, maybe, unajua. If you allow us, that is the thing. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much, Captain. Thank you so much, Sheila. Thank you so much, coaches, for coming. Na pia, unfortunately, wako wengi by that kumwingine kwa reception, but we will give you another time, maybe next time, to exhaust everything about the team and just to know you better inside out. Na pia kuna siku pesa tutakuja kuwatembelea Scoreboard. Tutakam. So we will have your number in your contacts. We'll be communicating. So any assist tutakuwa tunawaambia pia to make sure that we assist from what we can. Unaona? So thank you so much for blessing our studios. Na unless kama kuna anything ya kumalizia, kila mtu atakusema. Say something tukimalizia. Kila mtu, everyone. Within a minute,
Tuanze hapo kwa
acha Captain aanze. Captain ongea.
Yeah.
Oh no. Tuma shout out. Sheila anza basi.
Kitu mimi naweza sema like watu tu wa support team yetu na we will thank you so much. Yeah.
Tuma shout out. Salimia madhe, salimia.
I shout out to my mom. So far my mom. My mom.
Exactly. Atende kwa Captain basi.
Msaidie tutawashukuru vizuri sana. Kutumbaiza mavitu, kutudonatia pesa. Tutawashukuru vizuri. I shout out to my mom. I love you.
Thank you so much. Tende kwa coaches tukimalizia.
Mimi nasema tu jamaa, kama ukapo hiyo unatuona jamaa, tusaidie tu. Tusaidie. Alafu shout out to jamaa fulani hapo nje anaitwa Atenas Mahero jamaa. Huyu jamaa amesimama na sisi sana. Alafu kwa wazazi pia, thanks for studying with us at least. Alafu kwa wachezaji, kama ni mdem, kama ni mtu fulani toka hapo nje anataka kucheza ball, kama ujoin. mko welcome, feel free.
Wakumbushe na mko area gani ndio wajue like?
Tunatoka pale Isili, but most of the time unapata train pale Uru Complex, train Kismenti, Doha. So tunanga at ground. Bora tu tumepata space kwa ground na tukana do. Sisi tunalipa tuna train. Yeah.
But before tumalize, one question imenikujia and I think it's very important. From your grassroots, being a grassroots team that is growing, do you receive any assistance or any guidance from the federation? Like, have you ever received any assistance or guidance from the federation?
No, but ilikuwa to register league, but bado. Yeah.
What is your call to the federation kwa nakusikia right now?
Mimi kitu tunaweza sema tu kwa federation. Like talent iko hapa chini. Talent iko hapa chini. So kama mnaweza focus hapa chini inaweza kuwa kitu poa sana. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That is the ballers. Msema ni ballers of God, eh? Ballers of God. Ukisikia that name already nakwambia what they stand for, which means it's a safe place, a safe space for your child, safe space for your girl, for your boy, for everyone around the community pale, which means they are doing an amazing job. And thank you so much for everything you're doing. And we pray so much that God will still give you the strength to continue doing it and also change the lives of the society, because najua from these organizations is whereby we change the society for the positives, eh? So thank you so much for gracing our studios. And when nimesema earlier, we will assist where we can. Mali Mungu atatubariki, we will always come in, whether ni from funding to maybe covering anything that you would want us to do. We'll be there. You'll have my number. Anything, just call us. Anytime you want, you have something to put out there, just call me. I'll be giving you a chance to come here. So thank you so much for coming to us. Na pia mwenye ametconnect pia, she's outside there, najua na watch hapo chini. Thank you so much to you. She's an amazing lady, najua. She's very amazing. So thank you so much to connect na these ladies. Najua naniona pale kwa reception, so anasikia. Lazima nige shout out pia, maana ni maana sana. So thank you so much for everybody who is watching. Like I said earlier, this is the Scoreboard. Let's go. We are going to the second session where I think Redney is around, so tutakuwa tunaingia, we'll be talking more about every event that took place this particular weekend. Tumesema tumekuwa na Carabao final, Arsenal doing waliwipe the floor na Man City. Unfortunately for captain team yako iliumia jana. Pole sana. And like everything that is happening, tumekuwa na friendlies. Manchester lost to AC Milan by 4-2, which is bad because the former coach alituaibisha. We'll be talking more about that. Chelsea, of course, Chelsea are Chelsea too. Wanaumia and everything around transfers also. Na pia the league is starting in a week's time. I think next week on Friday tutakuwa tunaanza league officially. So brace yourself for an amazing time at the Scoreboard. So don't go far, keep it Scoreboard. This is EBN TV. My name is Michael Dipo. Don't go far because we'll be coming back in the second session.
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
Of God, our team. Rodi, those are that. Umeona your team? Ladies are doing well in terms of football hapo. Yes. Na tumesema tunasaidia vile tunaweza. So siku moja tutakuja tukwambia tutolee pesa at least tusaidie.
Okay, no problem.
Wale wetu waweze kucheza ball, unajua? In the meantime, sasa jogo, welcome to the second part of the show whereby we'll be tackling things about football, everything from the pre-season to the yesterday's game, and also preparedness of each individual team in preparation for the first game of the league, which will be it will be this week, Friday, right? Yeah. This Friday actually. So welcome, Rodney, to the show.
Thank you very much.
It's been long.
Yes, it has been, but glad to be here once again. Thank you to each and everyone who has tuned in this afternoon. Keep it EBN TV, and I think enjoy the journey and whatever we have presented for you today.
Yes, welcome once again. It's good to have you. Madini leo amepotea, sijui amepotelea wapi.
No problem. Tutashikilia hapo madini mtachi.
Haya basi tuanze, let's start from the pre-seasons. So far, I think yesterday we had the last of the especially in the English Premier League. Yeah. We basically had the last of the pre-seasons. Unless I don't think there's a game being played in the middle of the week. Paka siku ya ligi. So far, let us talk about the perceived top 4 teams. We can talk about Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal, and of course we can throw in kitu kama Tottenham, maybe. So far, with the pre-seasons they have had so far, do you think how have you seen the pre-season so far? Like,
I think there have been mixed results. We have seen the top teams losing, some winning in the games that we expected to win, but it has been a really good pre-season, an eye-opening one. I think for Arsenal, they might be the most impressive team. They might not have won every single game, but at least they have been the one team that have looked quite consistent in this pre-season. Manchester United have also had a few glimpses here and there, but I think the game against AC Milan showed a few weaknesses that we saw even last season. But hopefully that is going to be an eye-opener for not just Michael Carrick, but even the board, for them to maximize on these last few days, for them to hopefully bring in a few more signings. Chelsea have been a bit ish-ish. As they started off, they were a bit poor, but I think they're slowly finding their new way as they integrate Xabi Alonso into the team. And for Liverpool, again, they also started a bit slow, but they're slowly catching up. Yeah.
Let's talk about this. Is a transfer that we have seen many teams break the ceiling of the 100 million level to try and get some signings. We have seen teams like Manchester City. We have seen teams like Chelsea breaking the bank for quite. We have seen Tottenham, of course, throwing everybody off the Ugin. What are they doing? No. So crossing that 100 million mark. What is your take on that with these particular teams? Do you think those players that have been signed beyond the 100 million mark, are they worth that cost?
It's an arguable decision. We might say some of them are not worth it, but I think if you look at the current market at the moment, the kind of money that is being spent on some of these players, in as much as you might feel that it's not worth it, you just have to at the end of the day. Because if you look at a player like Anderson, who has basically set the bar for midfielders this season. Tonali has also gone for 100 million. You have Mateus Fernandes, who has gone for 85 million. Ideally, some of them should not be going for that price, but I think simply because the bar has already been set, you just have to end up spending that kind of money. And for Manchester United, I think, in as much as we're trying to save on as much money as we possibly can, but we might have to eventually end up spending that kind of money, because we actually haven't crossed the 100 million mark since when? I think Pogba.
Actually, I've never.
Actually, the most we've spent is, I think, 85 million on Pogba back in 2018, was it? I think. So I think in as much as we're trying to go as cheap as we possibly can, eventually we still might have to end up spending that kind of money. And I think for teams like maybe City or even Arsenal, Spurs, we might say they've spent a lot of money, but at the end of the day, they've got the players that they actually wanted. A few years back, people called out Arsenal for spending 100 million on Declan Rice, but you look at the player that they have right now, he's basically worth even more than what they ended up paying at that time. You look at City. Yes, Anderson has not delivered in the one game that he played yesterday, but there's still a whole season to come. We still do not know what he's going to basically bring into that City team. Arsenal have also added Bruno Guimaraes to their midfield. I think he was quite impressive in the few games that he has featured in. So, again, still a lot of time to see what these new players are going to bring into their respective teams. You still have Liverpool, who have a few signings coming in, especially in their defense, possibly in midfield. So, long season ahead and a lot of time for these players to prove what they're going to bring into their respective teams.
Definitely, and we'll be looking forward to see what they'll be doing with the price tag. You know, with the price tag comes the pressure and the respective team that you're playing for. So the contribution should be immense for any other player who has been signed by that amount of money that has crossed that 100 mark. But let's come specifically now. Let us start from Manchester United. And so far, 2 months in, only like two marquee signings.
Yeah.
Total 85 million. Like clubs like is it Coventry Magani? They have signed. They have used more money than Manchester United. And I'm looking at Manchester United's situation from last season. Of course, we finished third. Manchester United finished third, of course. And in January, what the leadership talked about not signing enough so many players because they were looking at improving the team in the summer. This is the summer, 1 week away to the opening of the first game of the Premier League, and we only have two marquee signings. I'm not talking about Dalot, I'm not talking about people like these youngsters. I'm talking about marquee signings, people that can bring an impact immediately. So far, how do you rate the signing in Manchester United? At Manchester United?
I'd say a 4 out of 10.
Oh.
I think it has been quite a poor window because I think from what we were hearing earlier on, even before the season ended, the previous season, we were expecting a lot of movement this transfer window.
Yep.
Because you look at the midfield specifically, we have Casemiro who has already left.
Yep.
We have Ugarte who is injured for a significant amount of time, possibly even the entire season. And at the moment, the player that we had before Santos and Tielemans came in was Mino, who was the only, let me say, proven player in that midfield, if you're not counting Bruno Fernandes. And right now we've added Tielemans and Santos. Yes, they might not be the marquee signings that we expected, but they do bring something into the team. But I think after watching the AC Milan game, I still have this feeling that I don't think that's enough for us this season. Because if you look at Arsenal, in the game yesterday where they were playing against Man City, they started with Bruno in midfield.
Yep.
And in the second half, Rice came on. But you did not see any drop-off in performance. It was like the same player who just came in the second half. And you look at Manchester United, Andre Santos and Tielemans are not of the same, let me say, not really level. They're not the same player. They don't have the same playing styles. What Andre Santos brings into the team is not the same thing that Tielemans brings into the team. What Mino brings into the team is not the same thing that these two offer. And for a very long time, we've been calling out for a dominant midfielder or someone who will constantly run up and down, a very physical midfielder. We still don't have that.
Yeah.
In as much as Carrick is trying to integrate basically a new playing style where we might be a very more possession-based team, I still think there are games that we might need that traditional six, especially in that AC Milan game. That was the clearest example that we still need a player of that caliber. And now it gets harder because Baleba is injured, who's the one player that we've been constantly linked with. So unless we're willing to go sign an injured player to come into our team and then wait until he gets fit again to come play for us, I don't see it happening. Yes, there are people who are coming up with these conspiracy theories. Oh, Tchouameni is still not, Real Madrid have not still announced the contract extension for Tchouameni, so there might be something there, but I still don't see it happening, especially if we're continuing these things. We're not trying to spend a lot of money. I'm not sure what they're trying to save for, because they said they're going to spend a lot of money in this summer specifically. So unless they're waiting for January, and even January, it's not going to save anything. We still need a left back. Yeah. Clearly, we need a centre back, especially after what we saw in that AC Milan game, because I think Martinez is not fully fit. Maguire is in the last years of his contract at Manchester United, and he's not the same player that we had maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So he's not able to comfortably run up and down and cover large spaces. So unless we're going to trust Euro and Heaven to carry our defense, there's still a few questions to be asked out of Manchester United. Again, the midfield area, we still have Sesko, who has not fully recovered from his injury. So there are a lot of gaps in that team. And if they're not going to rectify them in this period, then I would not be surprised if we end up missing out on maybe even Europe next season. Because if you look at teams like Arsenal, Man City, I don't expect them to drop off as much, especially Man City. In as much as they didn't win the game yesterday, I think they still have too much quality in their team for them to perform poorly next season. You look at Liverpool, who have been performing quite well in the last few games under Iraola. You look at Chelsea, Chelsea and Spurs, who are going to look at a season where they're not playing in European football. And you saw what Manchester United did last season, where everyone somehow thought that we're not going to qualify for Europe, but now we're not playing too many games. We're just playing one game a week. That's all you have to focus on, and we eventually ended up finishing third. So I do expect one of Spurs or even Chelsea to possibly qualify for Europe next season, and that's basically 3 or 4 positions gone. So where do we fit into that? So there's still a lot of work that still needs to be done by Manchester United. Let's
talk briefly about the Rashford factor now being back into the team. And on the left back, the player that was playing that place last season was Cunha, and he's still there. He's back into the team and everything. And we still have players. We still have Dogu equation, whereby, of course, most of the time Carrick likes putting him in a progressive place, whereby mostly the left wing there. So what do you think? What does Rashford bring to the team, either positive or negative? Briefly.
attacking wise, I think he brings something that Cunha does not have. I think he's more of an elegant dribbler, if you might call that, a traditional winger that we've grown to see from when he graduated from the academy all the way into the first team. And I don't mind keeping him, but then again, I feel like there's a lot of clashes that might come out of that, because unless we're going to bring Dogu back to left back, that position is basically cemented by Cunha and maybe even Rashford. So I guess they're going to be alternating every once in a while. But for the left back position, unless we bring Dogu back, I'm going to be very honest, I was not impressed by Dogu this preseason, especially in that left wing position. I think there's still a lot that he has to do, especially in his game and overall playing style. So unless he's going to completely play at left back, I don't think he has a chance at the moment with Rashford and Cunha in the team. I don't think he has a chance playing in the left wing. But I think having Rashford there, it's a good thing for us. It basically for rotation purposes, because we're going to be playing in the Champions League next season. We're going to have the Premier League. We're going to have the domestic cup. So it's not a bad thing to have a lot of quality in your team. Yeah.
And I'm looking at this situation. Tell me, with names, maybe with the help of names, specific names, what profile of players do we need now? Do Manchester United need in their team right now, like immediately?
If we're considering the left back, I think the easiest person to go for is Lewis Hall, because we need not just any left back, but I think a technical left back who can offer something that we might not have in our team at the moment. Because yes, Shaw is fine. He has these games where he'll shine every once in a while, but it's quite clear that his legs are not there. He's not the same Luke Shaw that we had from a few years ago. And unless we're going to trust in Harry Amas to basically fill in his shoes, but I don't think he's fully ready for that position. Same case with the Fletcher twins. I think they've had their moments, but I still don't feel like they're fully ready for that. And if we're going to a very serious part of the season with basically academy graduates on our bench, it feels almost like we're going back to the Amorim and Ten Hag days. Whereas you compare to teams like Arsenal or even City, you look at the kind of quality that they have on their benches. We still need to sign a number of players. In midfield, it's now a bit difficult because there's very, very few players who are left out there. And unless we're willing to pay big money for them, you look at City, who are now possibly going to sign Boadi. Unless we're willing to spend a lot of money on some of these players, it's becoming quite difficult for Manchester United in terms of the kind of quality and the kind of players that they actually need in the team.
Let's jump to another team. Let's talk about Arsenal. Before we go talk about yesterday's game, the signings they've made for in this particular summer, having Guimaraes in their team, one signing that I think shows that Arsenal are very much ready to go again for the cups and maybe Champions League, because this is something that I feel like Arsenal signed Guimaraes for Champions League. Yeah. Because I understand they felt the pain of losing it at the final, and they felt that maybe it was one of the problems they had. Because if you look at players like Zubimendi, they have not lived up to the expectation that they were put in on them when they were coming in. So I think Guimaraes is that player that you want to be in a midfield. Yeah. And of course, signing Zolis has been very impactful in that particular team since coming in his 2 games. Yesterday he provided 2 assists. Yeah. In the first game he provided an assist. And so you can see the kind of player that they went for, somebody who brings an instant impact into the team. So let's talk about Arsenal's signings in general. What do you think Arsenal are ready for anything as we go into a new season?
At the moment, yes. I think they have been the one team who have been most consistent in this preseason. Yes, they did lose some games, but if you look at how they played, they have been consistent enough. In as much as they've rotated a number of their players, they were missing some of their key players. You could still see the kind of vision that Arteta has for this Arsenal team, and it's still the same no matter who's playing on the pitch. And the one area that I might call out Arsenal is specifically in their striker department. I still feel like they need someone else there. In as much as Arteta might have decided to trust in Gyökeres, I don't think he's going to be the number 9 that is going to completely fill the attack for Arsenal. If they had signed Sesko, maybe then they could have had a very lethal attack. personally, I feel like in some games even Havertz is a better option for Arsenal, but I don't think Arteta sees him as the starting striker for them. I believe that once the season begins, Gyökeres is going to come back into the starting 11. For every other position besides maybe right wing, because there's a bit of a dip in quality when Saka is there and Madueke is there, but he still gets the job done. He's still an Arteta type winger. So you look at the entire Arsenal team, their defense, their goalkeeping, their midfield, their attack, it's just fully stacked with a lot of quality. Even if one of their players gets injured, you look at Saliba, who is now injured for a significant amount of time. You still have Gabriel there, you still have Mosquera there, you still have Calafiori who can play there. You look at the fullbacks. Yuri Timber didn't play yesterday, but still, you could not see any difference in quality. So if we're not careful, we might see another back-to-back league win for Arsenal. But again, I think this is the most frustrating part as a Manchester United fan, because this is possibly the most open that the Premier League is going to be.
Yeah.
There's going to be a chance for basically all of the top teams to contend for the title, but you look at Manchester United, it feels like we're not doing enough compared to these other sides. And it's going to be a very open race, and now we're going to wait until the league actually begins, because the pre-season, yes, there's a few controversial results here and there, but now the serious work begins in the Premier League, and we're going to see that come next week. So whatever happens. Hopefully it's going to be a brilliant season for Manchester United, but a lot of work still needs to be done.
Let's talk about Chelsea generally because of time. What about Chelsea signings this season, this particular summer?
I think for the few games that I've watched Chelsea playing, they've been quite instrumental, especially for Xabi Alonso. They might not be the big names or the marquee signings that we're used to seeing Chelsea make, especially you look at a player like Welbeck, who's in possibly the last years of his career. Jordan Henderson as well. But you look at players like Palestra, you look at is it Dario Esugo in midfield. There's still a lot of quality within that Chelsea team. And again, as I mentioned before, they're going into a season where they're going to be playing one game a week. No European football, maybe they're just the domestic cup. So if they do take the season quite seriously, they could very easily end up in the title conversation. So I think at the moment Chelsea are in a good place. Still, we don't know if Enzo Fernandez is going to leave, but I don't think so. There was this clause that they had set a specific time and date for any team to come and bid for him, but there's still a few days within the transfer window, so we have to see if Real Madrid are going to come back in for him or even Man City. So for Chelsea, we're still waiting to see any movement that is going to happen from now till the end of the transfer window.
I feel like there's not much to be said about Manchester City apart from the fact that they signed Anderson, and of course maybe the incoming of the new coach in his first game, the first introduction into Manchester City, lost the game against Arsenal. But let's talk about yesterday's game in because I think it will touch also on that. Yesterday's game showed a glimpse of what maybe we are going to expect when it comes to the league. And Manchester City losing by a margin of 3-0 to Manchester City. What does it tell you in just a week to starting of the league? No, for Manchester, is it bad news for Manchester City, or is it just a game that maybe would have gone either way?
Both, but mostly bad news for City. I think you could see the frustration in the City players, because especially Haaland, especially every single time they'd concede a goal, they just somehow put the camera on him. But it's very unfamiliar territory for Man City, because they're constantly used to dominating games against Arsenal, and now you look at Arsenal comfortably beating them 3-0. It's quite shocking, but not surprised. And for Manchester City, I think watching the game, they looked like a shell of themselves. It was almost like you're not watching Manchester City playing. It's like they were a bit lost at times. They were constantly beaten on the ball. They were physically overpowered sometimes by the Arsenal players. So still a lot of work needs to be done in this Manchester City team. They do have a lot of quality. That's the one good thing about this City team. In as much as it might seem like things are bad for them right now, but they have too much quality in their team for them to fail. You look at possibly the best striker in the league at the moment, Haaland. He's still there. You look at players like Chaki. You look at players like Gehi in their defense. You look at Vardiol, who just recently returned. Though he didn't look very comfortable yesterday, but there's a lot of quality in that team. The only mistake I feel like they made is by selling Trafford. Because watching the game yesterday, Donnarumma didn't look very comfortable in goal. And I think it might be a weakness that teams might now try to take advantage of now as the season begins. But there's still a lot of time for Maresca to integrate whatever he's trying to bring into this City team. I was hoping to see what he had done at Chelsea, but we still haven't seen that, at least at the moment. But still there's time to try out a few new things. So we'll see. We'll just see what the kind of Manchester City we're going to get. They might end up becoming the post-Fergie era of Manchester United and flopping. You never know, because I think Pep has been one of the most integral parts of that Manchester City team, and they've also lost a very key player in Rodri now, and even Bernardo Silva, who have left. So we don't know the kind of impact it's going to have on this team, but still a lot of time for them to improve. Still a lot of work to be done in that City team.
Well, I think time is not on our side. I'm being gestured here by by the producer that it should be winding up. But before you wind up, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Now with the teams that with the signings that these teams have had, and with the teams that have come up into the league from the kutoka nyasi pale, give me your like tentative prediction of how maybe the league might end up. I want to ask. I hate to ask this only because we need something to review at the end of the league.
I think at the moment the one team that looks comfortable enough to win the league is Arsenal. In as much as I would not want to watch them win the league again, but the truth has to be told. I think Arsenal seem like the one team who are good enough to go for not even just the Premier League, even the Champions League. I would not be surprised if they reach another final. Because if you look at the kind of business that they've done, the kind of players that they have, the kind of tactics, the one tactic I do not wish to see next season is the set piece thing. Like, drop it.
And they did one yesterday.
Yeah.
They still did it. I saw one.
Yeah, but hopefully we get to see the free playing Arsenal that we saw, I think, in 2021, 2022. If they go back to that Arsenal, they might be one of the most scariest teams in the Premier League. But for the second, third, fourth position, it's going to be an open race. I genuinely can't predict who is going to finish in that position, but I think it's Spurs at the end of the day. And but then again, let me give them the benefit of the doubt. They might very easily finish in the top 4, even top 5. You know,
they've done that before. It's nothing new to them.
And even watching the games they've played in this preseason, they've been quite. Yesterday, they're looking at signing possibly Gakpo and even Savinho. So if they do manage to sign them, they could be a very formidable team.
Definitely. Yeah. And in a minute, back to Manchester United. Do you think the issue is the pricing of these players that they're looking at, or is just the laxity by the management to sign players that the coach needs? Because some players, and you're not seeing the proactiveness by the management to try to give him the players. So, do you think the problem is the pricing? Is the price in the market, or just the laxity by the management?
Or the caliber of players that we actually wanted, because they had an entire list of the kind of players that they wanted to sign. So, if at all they were serious about it, they would have done that business early on into the season, even before the preseason began, so that as we head into the preseason, everyone is there and we know the kind of football that we want to play and the kind of players that we have at our disposal. But if you're going to wait until the final weeks of the season, of the transfer window rather,
I think we have a lot to talk about, but because of time, they say time, it's 2027 Premier League, or the league basically as a whole.
I just say thank you to each and everyone who has tuned in this afternoon. Thank you for taking your time and joining